Some of you have probably wondered what I've been up to over the past year during my break from making videos. I have been very active on the social media that I had back then, and I still am for that matter. It was during this time that I was able to really focus on my personal life more, and that also means I have more stories to tell. I haven't really told many stories on this channel or on my social media in general. However, I was able to have some pretty exciting opportunities during my YouTube hiatus, and one in particular I want to tell you guys about right now. It was November 22nd, 2022. It was late at night, and I was on a Discord server that I was casually chilling in like I always do whenever I go on Discord. And then someone by the name of Admiral DT8 makes an announcement on the server saying that he was looking for voice actors for his animatic series, A Loud Glitch. This is a crossover fan series between the Nickelodeon cartoon The Loud House and the horror video game Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. It follows the same story as Security Breach, but with Loud House characters inserted into the story and the show's main character, Lincoln Loud, replacing Gregory. I was no stranger to either of these properties. The Loud House, I was in the middle of Season 4 when this casting call was made, and I am also a big fan of FNAF. I hadn't played Security Breach back then because I didn't usually have money for an actual video game, let alone PC games, but I did watch Let's Plays of the game, so I knew what it was about. So I was interested in this project, and he said he was looking for voices for Lincoln, Lucy, and Freddy. Before submitting interest, I decided to test my voice to see which character best suited my vocal capabilities, and I decided that Glamrock Freddy would best suit me. Freddy is one of the more larger roles in Security Breach, so I thought this was a good opportunity. So I responded to the casting call saying that I could be Freddy, and the next thing I knew, I was sent a DM with actual lines of dialogue for me to say. So basically, I immediately got the role, and without wasting time, I got my microphone ready and I got to work. After I recorded my lines, I converted them to MP3 files and submitted them, and then, on December 1st of last year, aka 1 year ago today, Chapter 4 of A Loud Glitch, Nightmare Protocols, was released. I clicked on the video the moment I found it, and I was pretty anxious, not gonna lie. And then, I heard it. I was ecstatic to hear my voice coming out of that high-tech animatronic bear. We weren't able to get all the voices needed for the video, but the ones we did get, myself included, definitely helped the video. Now, some of Freddy's lines were taken from the base game by Kellen Goff, but the new lines were by me. So that was still really exciting for me to see, and thankfully, it wouldn't be the only time I would be working on the series, because after the Christmas break, I was sent lines for the next episode, which was called Lobby Lockdown, and I did those as usual. I was also way more prepared for the next chapter at this point, as I actually got myself Security Breach on Christmas, so I could really know the story way better than just watching Let's Plays. But this time, we had a bit of a barrier. For Nighttime Protocols, the voices we couldn't get were replaced with simple text, but for Lobby Lockdown, Admiral wanted full voice acting, and given that he was only able to get me and 2 others to help out last time, that was definitely going to be a problem. But this is where I came to the rescue, as I had an idea. There's a website called Casting Call Club where you can advertise your project and you can find some help. So with the blessing of Admiral himself, I placed a casting call for Lobby Lockdown where people could audition for Lincoln, Lucy, Lana, Luna, and Chica. It took a while, but we eventually got the voice actors we needed, and well, Lobby Lockdown was released on February 12th of this year. This chapter is very different from the previous ones. Instead of being an animatic, it's an audio chapter with Admiral's fan art on top of the voice acting, meaning you could just listen to it like a podcast. But it was still a decent chapter, despite some miscasting, as well as dialogue giving me flashbacks to a certain Loud House adventure I want to forget. Plus, it was still really cool hearing my Freddy voice. And Admiral himself even voiced the security bots, and it's pretty impressive. Something else that was new for the series with this chapter was the intro. It shows more of how the story starts with more fan art, and the intro music is even the instrumental of the first FNAF Living Tombstone song. There is a textless version, but the intro in the actual chapters does have credits for the cast and who the properties actually belong to. Pretty bold to credit Chris Savino instead of Nickelodeon given what he did years ago, though. But before the cast list is shown, it says at one point, with special help from Ben DCPS. That special help I did was finding those cast members as well as just helping in general. So yeah, that was Lobby Lockdown. However, the next chapter, Lights On, Lights Off, took longer for a variety of reasons. Now, I'm sorry if I'm disrespecting the cast members, but some of us took a little longer than others. Plus, we had to find actors for Monty, Sun, and Moon. Yeah, we already found a voice actor for Roxanne. At first, I was hoping to do Sun and Moon because Freddy's actual voice actor, Kellen Goff, did the Sun and Moon voices for Security Breach too, but we eventually decided that other actors were the better way. I was also able to have Lincoln and Lana's voice actors swap roles to sound more like the characters, and at that point, I was kind of feeling like an assistant director. The episode went public on June 26th, though for us crew, we ended up getting it early because we helped make it. It's another audio chapter, but with one short animatic segment. Now, you'd think at this point this is where the series would really start to build up, but no, that was all. That was my experience with being a part of the Loud Glitch. I had so much fun with this project. I loved getting to voice a character that I am so happy I chose to do, and this series has actually allowed me to show off a bit to my friends, which I always like doing. But my involvement has actually been way more important than I realized. I reached out, offering my services in getting more help for the series, and if I hadn't done that, the last 2 chapters probably wouldn't have been made at all. And to this day, 1 year since I first heard my voice coming out of Freddy, I'm still thankful that I did this. I did record other lines that didn't come to fruition, but that's okay. The time I did have was great. And while it is sad to end this series early as it transitioned to being a fan art series on Admiral's DeviantArt, which did eventually finish, the time I did have working on it was special. And this was especially lucky since this guy hasn't exactly been well received in another fandom, something that I thought of talking about in this video, but decided to save for another time. But this series has given support to go with the support he was already getting from the people who do respect him for who he really is, myself included. In fact, this whole production, as well as outside stuff such as birthday art and even some venting, has led to us being good friends. At least friends online. I haven't actually met him in person. But I am actually hoping to change that one day. All I can say is, thank you so much, Admiral, for giving me a chance and letting me provide my services for something that I'm so glad I took in the end. I can't wait to continue working with you on potential future projects. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys like what I do, you can follow me on my social media listed below, and also consider liking the video and subscribing if you're brand new, while also ringing the bell to be notified on future videos. Also, if you want to see more of my stories, you can comment below asking for more, and if you want to support me even further, head to my Patreon page. You can support me on either my videos or my art, but there is an option for both if you want all of me. That's all for now, and until next time, farewell.